Hello, good day. My name is Mark Grimes, and I'm located in St. Louis, Missouri. You may wonder why I'm on this call. I'm here to share with you some of my experiences as a community engagement leader for a Fortune 500 financial services firm located here in St. Louis. And when I was asked by Ms. Bailey to present, it was a no-brainer because I love talking to kids. I love talking about myself, and it's kind of hard to tell Miss Bailey no. So before I tell you anything about my career, I'm going to start with this. And this is something that's very important, is that you don't have to, at 17, 18 years old, 16 years old, however old you are, you don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row. But you can start preparing for the opportunities that will meet you along the way. So today, as I talk with you through my career journey, step by step, and show you what I do to prepare for each stage, what I did to prepare for each stage, even when I didn't know where I was headed. So step one, let's start with step one. That was my college journey. That's where the foundation was built. And so I graduated from the University of Missouri St. Louis, and when I entered into the hallowed halls of the university, let me tell you, it just wasn't just classes for me. So I was really involved. I was very involved. I was probably too involved. When I started my journey in college, I received a full-ride scholarship. I was in the Pierre Laclede Honors College. And as a student, a couple of years later, became the student body president. So out of a campus of about 15,000 people, I became the student body president. I was over the whole student body, and I had the highest vote total in the history of the school. And I was oversaw student court, which was responsible for giving people, hearing deliberation, excusing tickets if necessary. I had a $4 million budget, so that included my staff, some of the activities that we did on campus. So I did a lot. I brought innovative ideas to the school that included equipping every building, making sure every building was wheelchair accessible. I sat on the chancellor search committee when we needed a new chancellor for the school. Yes, I was responsible for hiring the newest chancellor of the school when we didn't have it, and that included interviews, resume, talent search, going through resumes of candidates who applied for the job. And in my senior year, I was honored as the student of the year. So that was one of my biggest highlights of my career journey, my college journey. I did this and more, all while interning for another Fortune 500 company for 20 hours a week. So I was a student. I carried about 15 hours of classes. Then I worked 20 hours as well, and I ran the school. Now, I'm not telling you that to brag, but what I'm telling you is that experiences prepare me. They taught me how to lead people who don't necessarily think like me, how to speak up in rooms where decisions are made, how to manage responsibility, and how to show up consistently. And here's the truth. Leadership starts long before you get a title. Don't wait to get the title. Don't wait to get the appointment. Don't wait to get elected before you become a leader. You become a leader way before you get the title. It starts when you raise your hand, when you volunteer, when you get involved. So step two, my first career step was with a company called Northwestern Mutual. It was an insurance company. Again, financial service. It was in the financial service sector. And even then, that was preparing me for what I'm doing now. So after college, I became a special agent, a financial advisor at Northwestern Mutual. So instead of going into politics, like most people thought I would, I pursued a career in the private sector. Now imagine being in my 20s, sitting across from people twice my age, thinking and talking about their money and what they should do with it, their future, thinking about their retirement when I wasn't even close to retirement. So that will make you grow up fast. What prepared me for that? What prepared me for that? Again, learning to listen. That's what I did in the previous step. Learning to build trust and learning to handle rejection without taking it personally. Sometimes we don't enter into certain activities, certain careers, because we take the rejection personally. But you got to be ready to take rejection and don't take it personally. I learned discipline. I learned how to set up goals and to chase them. I learned that preparation isn't necessarily glamorous, but it's the daily grind. It's the daily disciplines. It's the things that you hate doing that other people won't do. Other people won't do, they're scared to do, but you do it and you'll find yourself to be more successful than they are. So let's go to step 3. That led me to a company called A.G. Edwards & Sons. Again, another financial services firm. And that's where I was learning to train others. I worked in sales support. I supported the advisors, and I trained the advisors. And that's where I discovered something very important. I didn't just enjoy succeeding. I enjoyed helping other people to succeed. I learned how to teach, how to communicate clearly, how to break down very complex concepts when it comes to finances, how to lead from behind the scenes. This stage prepared me to be a better teammate and a better leader. It taught me that success is rarely a solo performance. Let's go to step 4. That's when I ventured off into something totally different. Now remember, my first 2 career steps were in financial services. But then I ventured off. I discovered an opportunity known as pharmaceutical sales, and I landed with 2 companies in particular, and that was a whole another level of preparation. Doctors, I pretty much sold to doctors, and one thing about doctors, they're very analytical, very clinical. They don't have time for fluff. They're not the backslapping type of people. So I had to know my stuff. I had to be able to communicate complex topics such as a person's A1C and how my drugs would affect those, hopefully improve those. They just want facts. Doctors want facts, clarity, and credibility. So I had to understand clinical pharmacology. That's how the body reacts, how a drug reacts in the body. Absorption of a drug, the distribution of a drug, the metabolism of a drug, and the excretion of a drug. So I had to master my product. And before you become a master of anything, you have to study it. So I had to study my craft. I had to study the competition's products. So I understood medical science, and I had to be able to communicate that information on a doctor's level, not just a regular civilian, but on a doctor's level. I had to build strong professional relationships with pharmacists, and I had to stay ethical in a highly regulated industry. This stage taught me that preparation builds confidence. When you know your stuff, you walk into a room differently, and just keep that in mind. Now, lastly, I want to take you to my last step, my current step, and that's step 5. Thrivent Financial. Most people haven't heard of it, but it's a Fortune 500 company. That is, it's not traded on the New York Stock Exchange, but if you look at the top 500 companies, it's on the list in the United States. So today I serve as a community engagement lead for Thrivent Financial. This role brings all of my experiences together, all of my skills that I learned along the way, leadership, communication, service, and purpose. I get to help communities thrive. I get to connect people with resources. I get to support financial literacy and generosity in the community. I get to make an impact that goes beyond a job description. And here's what I realized, that every step that you take, from student leadership to whatever you do in life, but every step that I took, all the way to financial advising, from training to pharmaceutical sales, it prepared me for this job that I have right now. And so you can see my office behind me. Sometimes preparation feels random, but when you look back, you see the pattern. And so some of the lessons I want to share with you is that So what does this mean? What does this mean for you? You're sitting down, in your chairs, and you're like, what does this mean for me? So let me leave you with things that I wish someone had taught me in high school. Number one, get involved. Leadership starts now, not later. Say yes to opportunities that stretch you beyond your comfort zone. Growth rarely happens within your own cocoon that's comfortable, but it happens when you go beyond your comfort zone. Number three, learn from every job, even the small ones, even the ones that seem menial. Learn from that job. Every role teaches you something. Number four, build relationships. Your network will open doors that your resume can't. It's not sometimes, a lot of times, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Number five, align your work with your values. Your career is good, but your calling is better. And so your values will help shape whether you're operating in your calling or just a career. So you don't have to know, as I leave you with this, you don't have to know your final destination right now. Just prepare for the next step, and the next one, and the next one. Because when preparation meets opportunity, that's where purpose is born. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you at the top, and I'm rooting for every one of you to finish strong. Bye-bye.